You do not want to blink at 150 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Trust me, as a batsman, you just have to.
Supreme focus.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing around you that can matter when a pacer is bowling, honestly. It doesn't mean that you can slip when your spinner comes in.
Hi to KIBI Sports family. Today I am here with Aditya Kumar. आज हम पहली बार लाइव पॉडकास्ट कर रहे हैं किसी एथलीट के साथ, हमारे साइन एथलीट्स के साथ. ये हम रेकरिंगली करना चाहते हैं बिकॉज आई थिंक दैट जो इनको पता है और जो ये जानते हैं वो अनफिल्टर्ड वे में अपीयर एथलीट्स के लिए, बडिंग एथलीट्स के पास पहुंचना चाहिए वो डिटेल्स, डेटा. और जितना इंफॉर्मेटिव मैं इस वीडियो पॉडकास्ट को रख पाऊंगा वो मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि मैं रखूँ. शुरू करते हैं. हाय आदित्य.
Hi, Sagar.
या आदित्य स्टेज इन बैंगलोर, आई एम इन बैंगलोर. सो मेरे को लगा कि हमें ये ज़रूर करना चाहिए. एंड तो आदित्य, हेल्प आवर फैंस, आवर व्यूअर्स टू नो मोर अबाउट लाइक योर जर्नी एंड योर स्पोर्ट एंड जो भी इंफॉर्मेटिव आप चाहते हैं कि पता रहना चाहिए आपके स्पोर्ट और आपके बारे में.
So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And so yeah, I'm Aditya. I started playing cricket when I was 13 years old, and with one of the best facilities in Bangalore. I think the journey has been filled with ups and downs, just like I think.
Okay. Where you started playing? Sorry to interrupt.
So I played at KIBI, which is a very renowned institute of cricket in Bangalore.
Okay, like it ran by Irfan sir, right?
That's right. Mr. Irfan Seth is the founder, and I was under him for about a good 7 years. So my initial journey of having my good foundation began with sir, where I represented various levels of cricket, whether be it under 16, under 19 leagues, all of that. I think cricket is, at the end of the day, a very funny game. Obviously, everybody's experiences are different, and mine is nothing different either. So, obviously, I have had my share of highs and lows, and I've represented even college cricket, university cricket for South Zone, and various levels of cricket until now. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि how cricket came to you, like how it got introduced to your life.
So I think going back to 2011 World Cup is when, so I was playing, I used to play a lot of sports even during my school, bringing in. So I think once India had won the World Cup, I got to see the kind of excitement and vibe all around, and I was so excited to try the sport. Because my father has played cricket professionally, and up until then he never asked me to try.
तो पता नहीं ऐसा क्यों होता है कि जिसके भी पेरेंट्स स्पोर्ट्स में होते हैं वो बच्चों को बोलते हैं कि भाई खेल तो ले लेकिन प्रोफेशनली मत खेलना. तो
no, in my case क्या हुआ था, I think my dad came and gave me a kit saying you should join a summer camp. So I was still little dicey because I used to never think of me playing cricket before.
Okay.
So all various other sports like table tennis. My uncle, in fact, played table tennis for India.
Great.
So finally, I said okay, and then I started as a medium pacer.
Okay.
Under Mr. John sir, and I think he was the first person to have even asked me to try batting. On my second or third day of summer camp. So I gave it a shot, and quite naturally, I was pretty much in touch in the sense I knew how to play certain balls, but obviously you are having question marks in your mind when something like this happens.
Okay.
So. And then batting just took over. I think, it didn't take
Great
time. Yeah.
Great. See, it was in your genes. I would say, like, अगर father को instincts है, and it is like cricket is more. मेरे को क्या लगा कि batting, it's more of a reflex.
Correct.
है ना? Because the timing and the reflexes and how you catch that ball, body, eyes, muscle coordination. So amazing. Tell us, like, pehla tournament and what is your story, like first professional match.
Right.
Like, how was that?
It was great. I think, again, it was right after. So most of the camps in, I think, India or Bangalore per se, from what I'm aware, obviously conduct cricket matches right during the summer camps. So for me, it was more of just exploring. I was very excited to explore how the sport is, going, and how people change field setting, and when does this particular bowler come in, etc. So I didn't, and back then I was very young, so I didn't really know exactly how, I didn't know what is pressure or anything. I just went to play like it was just with a bunch of boys. So that went pretty well. I think, I do believe I scored 250s out of 4 games that I played.
Wow. The first game.
Out of 4 games, so the second game I scored a 50. The first one I think was a 12 or 13.
Okay.
And to be honest, I was shivering because,
Yeah, I remember my first game also. Yeah.
and I didn't know because when I was sent out to bat, obviously I was thinking,
So how you now, like when you go to bat, how you calm yourself?
to be very honest, I play like I have nothing to lose.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't think I obviously know what role I have in the team when I go to bat, whether I'm sent number 3 or opening. These are the 2 spots I play in. So you will have nerves, but I think a lot has to do with the preparation. So even the night before the game, I have a lot of visualizing that I do. And, so for me, when I go there, it's just my mind taking over as any other player who does it these days.
Yeah.
So
for me, it was singing. Singing used to help me. Like it takes you somewhere else. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if a bowler took like 2 wickets or 3 wickets, you came on a hat trick, and it doesn't matter.
Correct.
Yeah. Absolutely. And like you are an opener, right? They have a complete setup for you, like how to get you out ASAP.
It's all about the first ball. I think one ball that I face, and I think I'm happy.
And the like new shiny ball that swings and
I enjoy facing pacers more than spinners, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy that pace coming at me. It's a challenge for me.
Yeah.
And it tests my reflexes, which is what we prepare as sports people in the gym. And
you have played table tennis, right?
I love it.
Reflexes and
very much.
Yeah.
It really helps. But I think a great sport for cricket, which goes hand in hand, is badminton.
Yeah.
The feet movement is
Yeah.
very fast. You have to be agile. And not even football, but
Tell us your like greatest fan moment in cricket.
My greatest fan moment was at NCA in Bangalore. So I got picked for a batting clinic. NCA is basically National Cricket Academy.
Okay.
And I got picked for a batting clinic, which was, I think, for about 10, 12 days. And it was right before the IPL began. And I never dreamt that I used to visualize powerfully, very powerfully, about meeting Virat. But I never dreamt that it would happen in such a easy manner, because obviously everybody knew how big he was back then itself, and I just walked into NCA, and then I was on a call with my parents, I remember, and a friend. And then all of a sudden I see Virat sitting all by himself in KSCA ground B. So the first reaction to that was I told my parents, okay, I'll have to call you back. And I just went, and I do believe, Mr. Syed Kirmani, right? So sir has seen me since I was a very small kid.
Okay.
And he said, run, and then I just went. He was sitting, I think he was doing a promo for Nike.
Okay.
From back when he was sponsored by them. So I went and I spoke, and it was very nice, because the only 2 questions I asked him was, how are you scoring so many runs when I was so young? Basically, how do you keep consistent at this level?
Yeah.
And I asked him, the second question was, can I have a photo with you? So that is it. And then I think by then there was a lot of crowd that already had come around the vicinity. So, and I'm lucky enough that after that, while playing my cricket, I've got multiple chances to be able to perform, act.
Yeah.
Because of the chances.
Yeah. So Karnataka gave a lot of professional cricketers, like Robin Uthappa, and multiple names, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what is your message for player who belongs from Karnataka and aspiring to be a cricketer?
So first off, it's a great state to be actively playing any sport, especially cricket.
True.
And I think the opportunities that KSCA as an entity give to players is very big, as long as you are able to stay consistent and perform, right? So the only message I'd like to give aspirants is to ensure that they have good knowledge about the game and as to where they need to place themselves when, because it's all about being at the right place at the right time. I think you will have to start playing cricket at one particular level, and you scale up, which is when people start recognizing you. It's very important to tie up with an academy which also has good avenues and great, right? So when that takes place, then the rest is just all on you, how you perform.
Okay. Yeah. So like the normal roadmap, which is like if a kid is in school, right?
Right.
Playing school, then having a professional academy.
Right.
That you because that academy will help you to play districts. Correct. Inter-district.
Correct.
Interstate. And post that, like, you're representing your states at under 14, under 17.
Correct.
Under 17 is there in cricket.
Not now. Not
Under 14, under 19.
under 16.
Under 16, under 19. Yeah. So then there is nationals is like is there a national and a Ranji or Ranji represents the nationals?
To be honest, so when you say nationals, I think in sport, it confuses me as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think playing at Ranji Trophy level is nationals.
Okay.
Obviously, because we have an Indian cricket team which go on tours and they play international level of cricket. But when you say nationals, I do believe person is probably representing the state.
State, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And talking about even the school level cricket that you just mentioned, I think a lot of kids have, and it's important to be in the right school as well.
Yeah.
In Bangalore, I do believe Bishop Cotton's has great.
True. Infra also is there, and goods kits is very important. Yeah.
So when you're part of a school that already has a history of cricket,
Yeah.
playing any sport for that matter,
Yeah.
but cricket as well is a great, is a big sport. in
Yeah.
these schools.
True. True.
So when you play school level cricket and you perform, automatically you have avenues opening up.
So can you name your favorite captains?
So I have two. One is definitely MS Dhoni, and one is Virat Kohli. Primarily because both of them have come in different eras. I mean,
True.
although they belonged in the same team,
True.
but the way two of them have handled cricket for whether India, CSK or RCB has just been amazing. I think you have to learn how Dhoni, what he's known for, which is obviously stay calm. But I think Virat took the drive of getting fitness and being fit, being on top of the game a lot better when it comes to the agility aspect, setting an example.
Yeah. Benchmark. for the
Right,
team, yeah.
benchmark, and nothing to beat Dhoni's.
So,
Yeah,
like, see, as I compare Virat Kohli from Cristiano, I see like both of them. Like, if Cristiano is a captain, is a team captain, he responds in a similar way with his teams, with his club,
right,
and how he himself and takes the team.
right,
In the same way, I see Virat Kohli
correct,
taking team, and both of them gives a different understanding and different vibes or learnings for the team. Like, and I see like mixture of both is very important for the Indian team, and like it's in a very good hand right now.
yeah,
And yeah, CSK is performing great. Like the way
As
they came at
always,
this IPL
yeah.
is quite amazing. So tell me about your injuries. Like
I think I've just had, luckily, I've had just one. Obviously, your body is, tends to have a lot of wear and tear, which you have to be very conscious about. And I've had one injury on my wrist last year, which kind of held me back. It took me a little off radar from even KPL because it happened just about 6 days to 10 days before KPL began. So that was a little disheartening. But
so I see like you might be really working hard on your recovery side,
right,
like post-match, pre-match,
right,
pre-training, post-training recovery, giving yourself time post-training.
right.
So what are the things that you work on for the recovery side of it post-training?
My recovery is primarily sleep. I think the most
Amazing.
important recovery.
Yeah.
There are a few, of course, supplements that I do take, which help in muscle building, like protein shake, basic stuff, multivitamins, and so supplement side. So I think sleep for me, I'm gifted thanks to my mother's genes because I can sleep 12 hours straight.
Wow.
Right. So I don't have undisturbed sleep. Even before a game, I might think about the next day, how I'm preparing, say about 1.5 hours into it.
That helps in match. That can be
Absolutely.
reflected
I
with
think-
your brain functioning and all the
Correct.
process.
Yeah, you're fresh.
Yeah.
I have zero thoughts when I walk in because I think I do really believe recovery is very important.
And your eyes focus
Correct.
is great when you have a good sleep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think I know my body at least 70%. It's still in the learning phase because I've been training for about 6 years now. So I'm still learning very new things about myself. So what I've realized is there are certain types of food that benefit your sleep. There are certain types of recovery, like in the sense when it comes to supplements, which need to be taken at exactly a particular time of the day. So for me, sleep has been the best recovery. And maybe post a match day, obviously you realize, unless it's a day match where it's 2-3 days of playing, you do realize your body needs that kind of rest. So I give myself one complete day of just rest. Absolutely no training, no cricket, nothing. And I just come back, yeah.
So cricket in India and cricket with us, like it started with Cosco Ball, right?
Right.
And tennis ball and
Absolutely.
and like first is plastic ball,
Correct.
second is Cosco Ball, then there was a red
Pacer.
heavy Maruti Wiki ball, yeah. And post that, yeah, proper match ball, red ball.
Yeah.
Red ball and white ball.
Right.
So yeah, and the projectile motion for every kind of ball is different.
For sure.
And then your reflexes and your bat hitting,
Bat speed.
yeah, bat speed
Yeah.
is different. So I remember like first time, like what is the story? First time you have played with a leather ball, like how was that?
It was completely different. I think I was again batting. I was not bowling back then, but the way my bat shook made me realize, okay, you're getting into some serious stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel when my personal thing is, when you play a lot of tennis ball cricket, the type of cricket is different. Completely two different ball games, right? But what happens with tennis ball cricket is it teaches you a lot when it comes to bounce. You really are a little behind the ball in a way. So when you go on to play leather ball cricket, obviously it doesn't have that much of bounce.
So what do you used to use since then? Right now you're using English willow or Kashmiri willow?
English.
English willow. Yeah.
Kashmir willow is a little more on the basic side. I mean, as you might know.
Yeah.
Not basic, rather entry level.
Yeah.
When you're trying to explore your game, it's the right. I've had a Kashmir willow bats. My first 2-3
It's
bats.
the initial bats, right?
Yeah, and
Initial
looking
bats.
back at it, it's very cute to understand we've used those. bats.
Because English willow costs around, I think, like good bat is around 18, 20K. Easily, right?
But I think it also depends on. So when I, for example, go to pick a bat, there are only 2-3 criteria that I see. One is obviously the weight. How my arm feels when I lift the bat, single hand. And of course the number of grains, and so the meet point, whether it's the high to mid to bottom, etc. Those are certain criteria I see.
Yeah.
But I think you can get good English willow bats even at the range of 10 to 12,000.
So what is your understanding on the mongoose bat? Like,
I mean, I've used it. I think they use it now only for fielding purpose, because it generates a lot of pace.
Yeah.
Correct. So it generates a lot of pace off the rubber. There's a rubber padding that you have.
Yeah.
So obviously the ball travels, I think 3-4x times the speed than probably a normal. So it's good to build your reflexes. I think earlier in the day, I think they used to use mongoose bats to play.
Yeah.
Right. Even
1983.
exactly. Yeah. If that was the case now, I think every ball would be flying out the park. But a good English willow bat, I think, will do the job. And it's all about timing. I think.
Nice. Tell me like how things are going with you professionally, and how you are planning to set yourself in an IPL team.
So of course I'm moving into the season now, and I think it's very important that I don't think of. I know where the end goal is, where I want to look at, where I want to see myself. But at the end of the day, this again through experiences and a lot of changes mentally, I've realized I need to take it like each and every game is new. Today I might score 100, tomorrow I might score 50, right? So for me to be consistent is the base plan that I'm preparing for. So if God willing, the league goes great, then obviously it opens up doors to KPL, and then there are avenues from KPL to bounce to IPL, like what we have seen with many of a few of my seniors who have gotten. They play really well in KPL, and then they get in the transition phase between KPL to IPL. There's Ranji Trophy T20, so you get opportunities to play there as well, and then from then on you have chances where people come to scout. So
true. Have you seen the story of Umran Malik?
No.
The Kashmiri guy,
the pacer, right?
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the story as much.
Yeah.
But
he used to throw ball. Like he got scouted by Suresh Rana, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, in Kashmir, and he used to play with Cosco Ball.
Wow.
And then they gave him that
Right.
proper leather ball, and he's shooting at 150.
Easy.
It's like a star is born
Absolutely.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's doing great. I got a chance to meet him once.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a great meeting, and he's young, and according to me, he's still thinking about like what to do with all the potential
Right.
you've received. It's great.
You do not want to blink at 150 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Trust me, as a batsman, you just have to.
Supreme focus.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing around you that can matter when a pacer is bowling. Honestly, it doesn't mean that you can slip when a spinner comes in.
So what's the fraction of second? Like at a 22-yard pitch, 150 kilometer per hour.
Yeah.
At what time it will get to you? Like seconds, like.
If I'm not, so I don't know it mathematically, but I do believe it might be somewhere between 0.02 seconds to 0.03. Because I've faced 142, 145, and what happens is that's why you prep, right? The kind of weight training you do. My trainer has always only told me just one thing is when you work on reflexes, like it's all about you need that boom. From your body and from your mind, you have to think in a fraction of a second. You have no time to think, right? So I think it's 0.02 to 0.03 seconds is when all of the stuff takes place. So
amazing. I mean,
150. I'm yet to.
I haven't faced a bowler like I think I haven't faced 130 Kmph also, but 150.
But the funny thing is, being a batsman, right?
Yeah.
You don't realize the pace of the ball until you see the screen or until someone actually has a speed gun, because you're reacting to a ball being thrown at you. You don't realize how you know. Okay, he's bowling quick, right? He's bowling rockets.
Yeah.
But that's how you acclimatize to the situation where you're like, okay, one ball, like being an opener, I can tell you, I see the first ball, and then I realize, okay, this is how I need to react. So the body is very quick to adapt.
If the first ball hit to your body,
I have no fear. Like I would just, because it happens, right? It's a sport, and
then you understand at what pace it is coming.
So there are only two things. One is either it's a wake up call, right? You just have to shake up and be like, okay, this is what it is. You might take a minute or two to get back because all you see is stars, right? Because it's like everything is hazy. And two is, apart from just the good morning, it's going to hurt you a lot, like I said. So you have to really, and it's a mental game. You can't really, I don't prefer showing it out to the opponent, because then the second ball will again come at me. I don't want another hit. So
what will you say to the people who are trying their professional career at the age group you are at? So how old are you, right?
I'm 26, 27, transitioning now. To 27 now, so I'm 27.
So what is your message to those age group people who are trying their best to get into the like they are playing cricket professionally,
right?
But getting into limelight, like IPL is a good
glamour cricket is what it is.
Glamour cricket,
My only message is just don't give up. I think in the era that, in my age of cricketers, in the sense the last couple of years in our era, I think we have seen multiple people making it big at various stages of their lives, right? They wouldn't have even possibly thought of making it at 34, 33. So what really kept me motivated is also a few of my seniors were elder to me by about a year or two, making the cut, and so I have represented very similar levels of cricket. So what is stopping me? And I'm lucky, I'm really grateful to everybody at even KSCA for all the support, because they've seen me play since I was a young guy, very small kid. So for the basic, thing I'd like to say is just don't give up. I think you should just keep trying. I do feel maybe 30, 32 might be a decent age to take a call, whether it's going the right way or not. But
pre-30s, you have the time.
Correct. You can definitely explore. You'll know when you're on the right path, and there's no looking back. Tomorrow you shouldn't regret that you didn't try harder. Like so.
I know a story of a guy who pursued for Mr. Olympia.
Right.
At a very later stages.
Right.
Okay, and he became Mr. Olympia like 2-3 years back.
Right.
And it's professional bodybuilding.
Wow.
Yeah. So getting shape at later stages, it's not at all possible. And
body reacts differently. Yes, I mean.
So like pursuing your passion at that point in time, it's never too late, I would say.
Never too late, because either which ways, I feel I'm 23 mentally. right?
Yeah.
My body is functioning very similar to how it was, just 3 years ago. So I think it did, even for that matter, COVID did a lot to various people. But speaking
a
of
lot of athletes, I would
a lot of athletes, right? So obviously it did play a lot in my mind as well, and I had to come out of that because COVID happened when I was between 23 to 20, 25, 26, like just until last 1.5 years ago. So losing out, I could either think of it as I'm losing out on time, or I'm trying to, recalibrate my thoughts, or just trying to see the path ahead. And it couldn't have gotten clearer for me. Right now, my path is so clear. Like, I know where I'm headed. And instead of having mixed emotions and thoughts, I just know what I have to do, right? So tomorrow, say I represent any other level in cricket, the interest towards the age factor comes down. They're more happy that, okay, you're playing at this level. Okay, great, right? So I've seen that with a few of my seniors, and that's what really motivates me to keep going, because I know if not the same path, I'm in a similar path, similar track, where I just need to keep giving it my best, have a very clear
consistent performance.
Absolutely, and have very clear thoughts, like just approaching the game and being honest with yourself about the game. So the only thing I would say is just never give up.
True, man.
Yeah.
Amazing message for the viewers. Like,
Yeah,
it's
please
great.
don't.
Tell me about your personal life. Like, मेरे साथ क्या था कि जब भी कोई sport में pursue करने जाता था, और I played four nationals in different sports.
Right.
So my dad and all, like with everything I would say, like घर वाले क्या होते हैं कि उनको पढ़ाई के अलावा कुछ समझ में नहीं आता. वो चाहते नहीं कि तुम out of the box जाके कुछ भी try करो.
Right.
क्योंकि उसमें उनको like both of my parents are working.
Okay.
तो उनको अलग इंटरेस्ट देना पड़ेगा आपको.
Correct.
अलग टाइम देना पड़ेगा जो उनके पास है नहीं.
Right.
तो मेरे एक भी मैच देखने के लिए नहीं मेरे घर में से कोई आया है, नहीं मतलब कभी भी नहीं आया.
Right.
ठीक है. एक बार मेरे को एग्जाम के लिए खींच के लेने आए थे. मैं स्टेट चैंपियनशिप चल रही थी स्विमिंग में की.
Right.
और प्राइस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में बहुत लेट हो गया था और इट वाज अराउंड 9:30 10. तो मेरे को लेने आ गए थे. नहीं मैच देखना है. भाई घर चल भाई कल एग्जाम है तेरा. ठीक है.
Yeah.
So it is like that. So how is like support from your family, and tell us about your personal life. कौन आपको support करता है and how they support you, and how they are acting as a catalyst in your life.
Huge. I mean, massive support from my family. If not, I don't think, if I didn't have my family support, I don't think I could have possibly pursued cricket at this age. So even in my house, so my parents work. My mom and dad, both of them work. And what I really appreciate about them is they've tried to strike the right balance between, their work and possibly my growing up stages. If I have to reflect back on, say, even 10, 12 years back, I think the amount of time on weekends, or I play a lot of cricket with my dad in the house.
Wow.
Plastic ball.
Amazing.
Very challenging.
Yeah.
Trust me. It's hardly 10 yards, 12 yards.
True,
so it's like from here to there, and then there are plastic balls being thrown.
Yeah.
So he's worked a lot with me closely to improve on the batting side.
Yeah.
My mom is, even when I was, for example, when I played first division, she's very innocent that way. Like, so for her as well, sport is something new. So even when I represented, I got picked for first division. I played for 4 years there. So she used to go around telling people that, I was a ball boy, which I was. Which I was definitely. But I think it was very innocent and cute of my mom to have done that. But now she's come a lot more closer, to terms with me, the fact that this is the level I'm playing.
Yeah.
And this is where I aspire to be.
Yeah.
So there goes a lot. Even till date, to be honest with you, I still tell my parents, even if you come watch me in a game, please don't tell me you're there. Right? Because
consciously.
Yeah, there are a few times to be very frank, I'm not too bothered, especially after COVID, about what's happening around when I'm playing or anything. So now I'm a little more open and okay. I don't mind them coming and sitting. I know they're there. I can wave the bat once I have a good performance. But they've done a great job. Thank you, mom and dad. And it's a blessing.
True.
Obviously, my mom didn't know, or my dad didn't know where my cricket was headed. It was all about study. Education is important, no doubt about it. But the choice that there was a phase where I was allowed to make a choice, and my parents suggested me to take up journalism. Also because probably I had interest towards writing or all of that. So it's fun, it's cute, and the support has been great. So I'm happy with whatever it is.
Amazing, and you're real lucky on that at that side. Like it's great. That's why like you have that enthusiasm and you have that passion which is needed to get there in the bigger picture.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think that's the only criteria that will take you places in whichever path of life.
True.
True. No matter how much of time you put in, if you're not enjoying that, then
it's not worth it. You're not in the right place.
You have to just so
amazing, Aditya. Nice speaking with you. I think like I personally got a lot of learning, understanding, and I believe like it will be a very fruitful conversation and fruitful video podcast for the viewers who are aspiring to be a cricketer and who love this sport and who loves you and supporting you in the background.
Please do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for watching us. And do you have any message for the for the viewers and message for us and what we are doing and anything?
For sure. I think all of you must keep in close quarters with KIBI Sports. I think they're the next big thing in India. And the kind of support that Mr. Sagar has shown me and the love and the care that he takes, cricket is not, or any sport for that matter, is not just a one-man thing, right? You have a lot of people in the background who are still, sort of helping you, even if you're in the limelight or you're out there playing a sport. So keep in close quarters with these guys. I do believe that KIBI Sports is going to go places. And he's a man who's so passionate about what he does, and he's so clear about, what he really wants to do for aspirants like me. So the path is clear, just like how I suggest your path must be clear to follow them and show them a lot of love. And thank you so much for your time, Sagar.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute delight to be here.
Thank you.